Something more?
Yeah, a couple more things. Well, that actually leads into a little bit from, I wanted to ask you something about business-wise as well. The career that I am, I train dogs or train people to help them train their dogs. Nothing in the world gives me more pleasure, more joy. It's over the moon. I absolutely love it.
You know why?
Well,
dogs are a lot more trainable than people because dogs know about the vortex.
absolutely.
They're naturally tuned to it. And so when you approach them from that vibration of respect and appreciation and love, they respond.
And when in my style of training is very different than most in that I am training the people. I'm helping them to come into their vortex with their dog, and it works really well. People understand it. It's a relationship-based training. It's loving, and it really comes at it, and the dogs get it very, very quickly. So I've recently been doing what I've heard on the CD, like Esther was doing for quite a while. And every morning I'm waking up, I'm meditating, and I'm doing focus wheels. So I'm really coming to a really good place. My business is growing. And I've got something you said earlier resonated with me because I want to be able to educate the millions of people that are asking for what I have, because I know they're out there, because there's nothing out there that I've seen, at least from my philosophy. I want to be able to educate the millions of people, but at the same time, I think I have this thing going on with a loss of freedom, with getting too busy doing all these different things, and even marketing my business. I haven't done any marketing with my business because I've let it done vibrationally, and that's worked really well. But if I want to take it to a larger scale, I think there's a hesitancy in me with that it's going to reduce the amount of freedom that I have now.
Well, that is a piece of resistance that through focus wheeling and so forth, you have to work the bugs out of. Because when you say, I want this except for this part, or I want this but I'm worried that getting this will get me something else I don't want, your energy is split and you slow the whole thing down. So, but it's possible to say, I want it, and I want it under these conditions. With the expansion, I want people to delegate to, and with the expansion, I want good ideas to keep keeping up with that. And I believe that I can expand, I can grow, I can increase my top line dramatically, and my bottom line will be dramatically increased too. And there'll be a lot of payroll in between my top line and my bottom line that will keep me feeling free.
I've been doing that with the focus wheel, so I think I'm getting closer. I mean, can you see in my vibration my proximity to the growth that's there?
Absolutely, and we'll talk about that in a bit more detail if you want to.
Please.
But before we do, we want to chew on something a little bit with you just for fun.
Please. Okay.
So
I'm in.
So you're talking about how delicious it is to interact with these dogs.
And even my clients, just everything that I do with it, yeah.
So tell us what the best part of that interaction is. What is it that's ringing your bells so loudly?
It's a number of things. One, helping the people come around to seeing how the dogs get it. But really,
give us more about that.
I love bringing people to the point of when I start talking to them and I explain to them how their dogs really think and how they learn, and I demonstrate and they see it. It brings everything together. It brings them into their vortex, I guess.
So are you saying to us that the animal is so easily vortexable that the animal responds so much more purely to your pure vibration because the animal itself harbors less practiced resistance? So
Absolutely.
The animal is so responsive to what you offer that the animal helps you demonstrate the laws of the universe in a more effective way.
Yes.
So what we were just saying to you before we got onto the conversation about the dogs is that you teach through the clarity of your example. And these animals are so helpful in helping you to teach through the clarity of their example.
Yes.
That's exactly it, isn't it? In other words, you understand the laws of the universe. You understand who the animal is. You stand in a place where you evoke the best from the animal. And people who don't know any of this stuff, as a general rule, get to watch the demonstration, which then helps them understand things that they would not understand otherwise.
Absolutely.
Now, how can we teach your autism friend in a similar way. In other words, we just want you to go back to that conversation and think about what could possibly help that person who is on the other side of what you know to be relative to that. In other words, do you think an autistic child might help them in the same way that the animals have helped their owners?
I would think so.
It seems perfectly logical. But what's the disconnect? What's the difference? This is really what we want to get at. Oh, it'll bring such a resolution to this whole question that you have set forward here. What's the difference? What's the biggest difference, do you think, between the dog owner is an odd word, but the dog owner and the dog, and what's this man's relationship with autism?
He's a naturopathic.
So a physician,
physician.
And this physician with the autistic children. What do you think is the primary difference between the dog owner and the dog, which was easy for you to convey information, and the physician and the autistic child?
Well, from what I see, it's I don't know if I'm saying this probably, but his resistance coming from a medical standpoint, he's just seeing it from the conversation and went through, it's not that, it's not them coming in, it's I see the evidence. I see the evidence of autism. I see, the biochemistry or whatever he was describing.
The dog owner expects his dog to be trained. The autism doctor does not.
Right, because to him it's just a physical thing. You can't do anything about it. That was exactly it, yep.
So his bias is so strong that he's not willing to take another approach, a novel approach, a law-based approach, because he's already come to the conclusion that it is maybe preventable, but they don't know how, but not changeable or not controllable anyway. In other words, that's why he's closed in that sense.
And my intention was never to change his mind either. It's just we started talking and I just assumed he would have been open for it. So
we are not interested in you going back and changing his mind either. But we do want you to feel the resolution that some people with whom you interact are right on the heels of alignment, and you will be the catalyst who helps them get there, and it is so satisfying. And that's why your interaction with the beasts is so exhilarating, because they are so ready to go into the vortex and to train their owners there too.
Well, that's what it is.
It's really great fun to figure out who's getting the training.
Well, it's funny because I've written a training book, but it's a story format, but it's written from the dog's point of view. The dog trains the people how to train their new puppy.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. So write one about autism. The autistic child will train the physician. Because it's not working out well.
Or the autistic child with their dog.
It's not working out well at all the other way.
Right. So, again, can you give me, as far as proximity to where I want to go with my desire with the business, and to be able to grow myself and educate more and more people?
It is unlimited, and the reason that we are not eager to help you quantify it is because wherever as you get in, it's still going to grow, and then you get in and it's still going to grow, and you get in and it's still going to grow. And the best way of measuring or acknowledging the distance, the vibrational distance between what you've dreamed and what you are currently allowing is by the way you feel. The more you begin to say, I feel ease and confidence and certainty and eagerness, then the more you're steadily keeping up with it. Because you see, we want you to understand, creation isn't about creating your business and then you catching up with it, because you're creating your business and creating your business and creating your business. So it's more like create, catch up, create, catch up, create, catch up, create, catch up, create, catch up. But if you're creating, not catching up, creating, not catching up, creating, not catching up, creating, not catching up, catching up, catching up, catching up, creating, not catching up, creating, not catching up, creating, not catching up, catching up, creating, not catching up, creating, not catching up, catching up, then life isn't very fun. When you get into the rhythm of ask and allow and ask and allow and ask and allow, then it's just fun, eager, love it, more, you see.
Yeah, it's gotten better since I stopped like I said, I don't do any traditional marketing. When I stopped going in that direction, is taking the action, I was taking it from the action standpoint, and just started doing the focus wheels and enjoying it. And then the time that I had off, I used to get all stressed out. Oh, I better be marketing or doing something. When I finally stopped doing that, I'd take a walk with my dog. My business started growing.
All action from outside the vortex is miserable action.
So when you action...
And all action in the vicinity of or the direction of the vortex is life-giving.
So the growth, so as long as I'm doing my focus wheels and putting out there what I want with my more freedom, and the way I've always looked at it is that the people that are going to help me grow or the co-creators will just show up. I'll know it.
Well,
I won't have a hesitation. I'll know it.
When you're outside the vortex, you have to count on your physical senses to describe what you see and hear and smell and taste and touch. But what's in the vortex, you can feel. In other words, you can feel the expansion and you can feel the bigness, even though you can't see who it's going to be or where it's going to come from or when it's going to come. So that's really what faith is. It's about tuning yourself more emotionally and vibrationally to feel it. We have a really good idea. In this book that you have written about the dog training his owner to help them both co-create productively, get something in it about how, in the spirit of how you were trying, but trying too hard, and not getting what you wanted, which is not so different than not getting what you want as performance out of a dog. Mm-hmm. Not getting what you wanted. And your dog just kept insisting that you take it for a walk. In other words, in the same way that the dog is teaching its owner about alignment, your dog was saying to you, I know exactly what you need. You need a walk. You need a respite from your struggle. You need some distance between your determination that you're going to make something happen. You need a walk. In other words, get that in there. Right. Get that in there. And as you are writing that segment of the book, it is our expectation that you will discover your own perfect recipe, because the same recipe that you've learned to teach these people about their dogs is the same recipe that your dog's been trying to teach you about your business. It's the same recipe. And what is it? What would you say are the three most important things that these dogs want their owners to know? What's the most significant thing?
Well, I mean, the most significant thing is that they need to know how to communicate to them in the way they understand.
So the dog wants the owner to know that it does have language.
Yeah, and that it doesn't speak English or Spanish or French, but it has a language for sure.
So would you say then that the most important thing that the dog wants them to know is that this is a vibrational universe?
Absolutely.
And isn't that the most important thing that we want you to know?
Yes, absolutely.
What's the next most important thing that the dog wants these people to know? The thing that the dog sort of knows that they don't know, that the dog would like them to know?
That all's well. And just to chill out and have
fun.
Life
is fun.
Yep.
Life
have
is
fun.
fun.
And get off the computer and come play.
You're supposed to feel good, and you're supposed to feel frisky. And energy is supposed to move through you, and vitality should be yours and mine. Yours and mine. Yours and mine.
Yeah.
So get the, in other words, what we're getting at. So that's what we're saying to you here. Mm-hmm. In other words, you understand it all.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Thank you very much. Thank you for absolutely everything. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
Yes.